should be able to see on screens. Yes, you can see it indeed. Just making sure I've actually done that transition right. GamerLegion versus Team Endpoint. We just had the knife go on through, and that is in favor of GamerLegion there. So they will be picking side, and they do choose CT here. So game should be just getting underway. We are setting up for this one, and I'm very excited to see what GamerLegion are going to bring out here on Train. As people were saying in chat before, Team Endpoint have played Train a couple of times, and they are pretty good on it. So GamerLegion are the unknown quantity, at least for me here. So hopefully you all at home know a little bit more about them. Haven't seen too much of them myself. But we do see a bit of a focus towards this B site early on. And Rusty, keeping an eye on that angle, but no one actually drops down to try and contest him, at least initially here. Going to be setting up for those smokes, and Team Endpoint very much ready to move on in here. Sreal does get a nice one tap there onto Adam right at the back, trying to find a couple more. But the USPS does find a nice one as well, as ESEA happy to trade on back. Of course, the Glocks don't find all too much, but we do see the bomb go on down as Rusty is looking for a bit of a flank here. Street trying to find these shots onto Mighty Max, but doesn't lead to all too much as the flash comes in from Robin. As he tries to lead on in. But the USPs proving their worth right now, as it will lead to quite an advantage for GamerLegion, as it is 1 versus 4 looking for this final player. They will be able to deal with him, and GamerLegion pick up round 1 pretty convincingly there with a good pistol. Oh, yeah, you're okay. I was just making sure you could all hear me. Awesome stuff. Oh god, what the hell? Yeah, so Team Endpoint get taken down there. GamerLegion now obviously have that buy on up. Not picking up too many SMGs here. Not looking to try and get some of that bonus cash flowing in. But on the whole, a pretty good buy, and definitely worrying about the power of these Eagles that we've kind of seen a lot over the years that can be so threatening even on these eco rounds. If you give them an inch, and Endpoint will take a mile. It can be difficult to make the retakes, especially in some of these more long-range weaponries, and Eagles definitely can do that. Bit of utility towards Ivy there, but Crucial pops on in, finds one, looking for the second, but a spray from Mas will be able to finish him on off. Rusty trading back for their team as we see a couple of rotates as they move on up aggressively. Robin, for some shots, but other than Rusty, doesn't find all too much. An advantage right now for Team Endpoint, even though they didn't have too much on the way of eco. But ESEA to keep that one going, as Robin will have to run away. Manages to pick up this rifle, so 2 rifles in the hands of Endpoint now. They've still got a minute to work with. No utility left, but they can definitely just open up these frags. MP9 on the flank, trying to get a good spray down, but doesn't find all too much damage onto Thomas. The Orc doesn't find anything, but it will be some good flashes that allow Mighty Max to go on down there. And with ESEA holding down the fort here on the bomb site, they will be able to shut that down. And GamerLegion pick up that round, but not without a lot of losses. Team Endpoint doing good damage with that eco play. GamerLegion right now in a pretty comfortable position, but they're going to have to finally deal with this first buy round coming out here from Team Endpoint. And this should be a big contest. Only a bit of a ramshackle buy in the fact that they have some of these MP9s, but still a decent amount of utility that they can invest early, and that's some of the most important things, especially here on CT side, to try and keep people a little bit further back. Oh, does manage to get the refrag onto Crucial there, but it is a 1-for-1. It's favouring the T side as of yet. Do see good spray, but that is some fantastic hold. We do see finally Mighty Max managing to keep that one out, but not without taking a lot of damage. 2 HP. Big advantage for GamerLegion in terms of that HP, but whether they're going to be able to actually make advantage of it is a different matter. Now 2 players on the side of Endpoint, but both of them one shot right now. That FAMAS doesn't really matter that it's one of those more inferior weapons when you have to deal with so little health. This is going to be enough to get the spray. Takes a bit of damage, but doesn't go down. King Mezu. The Molly is looking to try and bait the defuse. The Molly comes back out towards him, but now he knows exactly where Robin is and can play around that position a lot easier. Flash comes on towards. But there comes the HE. It's a good HE too. There's a nice shot from Robin, and Team Endpoint pick up their first round. GamerLegion able to buy up a little bit in response. They should be able to pick up one rifle, maybe 2 rifles if they pick one up on Era. Depends on what they're really going for. Yeah, they will be able to pick up the AUG there and going for a bit of a buy playing around those. Not a lot of utility, which I think is going to be the most key thing here. So keep an eye on that, as it could mean that Endpoint are really able to roll over on this one. A bit of IV control, but crucial, spotting out that boost, and there's nothing you can do to King Mezil there. Oh my god, and Robin even takes down Rusty, as that would have been a fantastic opportunity for GamerLegion to just run away with that rifle. But Era still holding back. They've lost out on one of their rifles, and that could be the end of things. But a good hold with this AUG means the Era can push on up the smoke, but Era continues to push on through it and gets the spray down onto Robin. But with such a disadvantage in terms of weaponry, this isn't looking so good for the GamerLegion. They're going to have to rotate quick towards the A site and play some of these more aggressive angles. A nice spray through there from Crucial, but doesn't actually find anyone. Makes the attempt, does Adam, but unfortunately Crucial is absolutely on it. They see where Era is. They know where that rifle is. Zero has managed to hightail it back towards Ivy to pick up the M4 that was dropped by Mezzi, but still keeping things going here. Trying to find any shot they can, but takes a lot of damage from Zero. Surreal does manage to duck back down. Pick up a couple of rifles of their own. Right now, Team Endpoint in a very good position. They're picking up the second round and evening the scores on up with GamerLegion. And really setting themselves up for this next round, as there is going to be no way there's going to be a buy from GamerLegion in the next one. Zero will be able to have this rifle and might even drop it over to their teammates. They will have full armor, so I expect it to be on Zero. But for the rest of it, should be able to set on up. Surprised, yeah, okay, Zero did do that. I was going to say, I was expecting him to drop at least a pistol, but he did that. Not a lot of utility, again, from GamerLegion if they don't buy a little bit at the end here. And they're going to have to go for something a little bit cheesy. That's why they're grouped all up towards the A side, but they do split up. I'm surprised that they didn't buy a little bit more of that utility, not expecting themselves to win this round at all. Just looking to pick up a couple of kills where they can. Surreal, keeping an eye on down. Gets a good spray, but doesn't quite finish off Era early on here. 5-7 can be deadly, but won't do enough here to keep Era in a gunfight against a Galil like that. Mighty Max setting up these smokes. They are looking for a bit of an execute onto A here. 2 players looking to push up Ivy. But right now, Team Endpoint not wanting to give anything away. That's why you can see him shift walking all the way up there. Just looking for this clean execute. It's good HE. Mezzi goes down to it's like half health. Easily going to go down to a couple of body shots regardless of who hits him here. Robin peeks around the corner and will finish him off, making sure there's no one waiting. But Rusty does actually manage to hide. Zero got a little bit of backup, but those smokes stopping him and his teammate from really playing in that pop dog position. Crucial. Will get the support he needs as Adam is taken on down, but that's a good spray into Pop Dog there. That means GamerLegion really caught out here in this position, as soon as that smoke dissipates, sure, they can try and push on out, but someone is going to be watching. And you can see they've backed out. They want Zero to keep this rifle. They should be able to buy a little bit in the oncoming round. It's not the end of the world. Oh, thank you very much for saying I'm better than Blast Premier. That's nice stuff, but yeah. On the whole, right now, GamerLegion looking to try and buy up on the next round. I can't remember the numbers quite off the top of my head. I've always been particularly bad at that. But they should be able to at least pick up a couple of rifles here. If they've got M4 A1S, which is something I've actually seen a couple of teams doing, where they move their team onto M4 and A1S, and it makes the economy for CT side that little bit better. It makes it a lot easier to try and buy up. Yeah, they have more than enough. But again, gonna be lacking in a little bit this utility. We see Zero able to pick up a decent amount, has at least 1 molly, but the only having 1 molly could be a big difference maker here. Endpoint, on the other hand, have more than enough. Even if they lose this round, they should be able to buy up, and it's sitting on this. We'll be having a match pause. I don't know why this is. This could be a tech pause. Hopefully it's not. If it is anyone, it's probably Era here, but he's moving around. Maybe it's just attack pause, but that would come up in thingy. Well, whatever. The important thing to keep an eye on here is that they don't have the M4A1Ss, so they are lacking in terms of money. Endpoint haven't bought up to kind of upgrade that Galil, and I actually think that's a really sensible decision. I think Surreal's likely going to buy some utility here and keep on that, because Galil, still a very powerful weapon, can kind of hold the same kind of angles. Sure, you can't one-tap someone like you can with the AK, but it still provides a lot of power, and it's not worth buying up to do a little bit of damage to economy. Mighty Max doing a very similar thing here. I'd be very surprised if Surreal doesn't buy up any utility here, but... Oh, there we go. He's got it down, he's got it down. Maybe even has a macro, actually. GamerLegion. Looking to play a little bit aggro here. I like that from them. Team Endpoint have often been taking the advantage early on. They get a couple of these frags, especially when they've started to have some of these guns. Taking the tempo away from them could be key as they move on in. Surreal moving on up as the rest of the team looking to try and set up for this position. Rusty making sure no one drops down Pop Dog, and if they do, he will deal with them summarily, but it's a nade. Does take a bit of damage from that. But holds strong regardless. Gets a little bit of information towards Endpoint, but they're expecting a player towards Pop Dog at this point. So it doesn't really confirm, it does nothing but really confirm. Smoke's going to go down. So they are setting on up for this push now as the flashes do come on in. Surreal. Peek on wide, but look, that is it. ESEA holding the angle fantastically. Robin will be able to deal with them, but these rifles from GamerLegion, they were ready for this kind of push. And now with Rusty on the flank, this round is going to be finished off in pretty short order. Mighty Max goes on down, and Team Endpoint, now with only one player remaining, nowhere near that bomb, crucial, is going to try and move around a little bit and catch maybe something off the backside, as they can still buy up regardless of what happens. But doing a pretty good job. GamerLegion taking back control here pretty strongly, but looking to make sure they don't drop any players, because as you can see, they don't have much in the way of economy. So picking up this frag is nice onto crucial, but they were not looking to try and force it, because if they die, they lose out on a rifle round for one of their players, and it just all looks so awkward. I think we're even going to see a drop here for ESEA, I expect. Yeah. Up onto ESEA. Should be able to shut down some of these longer sight lines. Interested to see where he's going to play. You see the players kind of mixing things up a lot. It really depends down to personal preference. ESEA looking onto this A site and playing in that connector right now. Do have Adam on the B site alone, but a lot of this team is very happy to quick rotate. Team Endpoint do like to go for that B site execute, so I like that they're ready to do this, but it's a bit of a risky commit towards this A site. And that's why we see instantly King Meze moving back towards this, just in case they try and make this push. Some good nades which have bought them a little bit of time. And Team Endpoint kind of forcing players out of positions as well. As King Meze actually holding more onto the main site here. Don't forget, if you are here, we do have 3 games today. This is the first of a set 3. This is GamerLegion. Obviously, we've also got Rage, if I remember correctly. And then we've got... they changed their name to Men's Demolition Crew. For the 3rd game today. That is in like an hour. And then at 7 PM BST. Zero holding strong. Takes down Robin as he tries to push it on in. Crucial. Attempting to come around the corner and get that quick shot with the AWP. But it just isn't enough. ESEA misses the shot there onto Thomas. Hits the legs instead. And that means he's going to go right on down. Meze waiting on the other side of the smoke. Surreal is going to get hard punished for getting a little bit aggressive there. And now only 1 player remaining on Endpoint. And after what looked like a good opportunity, even when they were able to buy after an awkward round for them prior, they will get shut down. And a very, very strong showing from GamerLegion there. Even though they lose out on their AWP. Is it Men's Point? I have no idea what their actual full name is. I just know they're called Men's. Or is that just you calling the matchup Men's Point? That looks too, I guess. But here we see Endpoint back on those pistols. And they actually had a very successful round last time we saw them on this. So definitely don't count them out, but they're going to have to do something a little bit special. Especially when they've only got a couple of deagles here. And in GamerLegion, we're playing a little bit too aggressive, a little bit disrespectful. Now they have the AWP, they have more rifles. I think it's very unlikely that Endpoint are going to be able to pick this up properly, especially when Zero just peeks out and takes that one down. Moving to a good position on top of Train. Backup comes on in. They spot out a couple of these players. ERA will shut down one, and Rusty will shut down the other. Shots ringing out. Zero doesn't quite go down, but has taken a bit of damage. A little bit worried. That's a good HE. That should force out Robin, and does, in fact, just straight up kill him. Good stuff. I see, Lag. But yeah, GamerLegion off to a pretty good start here. Dropped a couple of rounds to Endpoint that they really didn't want to, but that was off the back of some good rifles and a lack of power on the GamerLegion side when they had MP9s. Like, if I think it was Mezzy was contesting the same angle with an M4, it would have been a very different story. And that's why Endpoint were really able to pick it up and then take from that the lack of economy on the CT side and really just run with it to net them that round victory. Rusty. Ready to smoke if the push does come on through. Not quite far forward. This is very aggressive here from Adam, especially because they're not against pistols anymore. Oh, I'm getting messages. I need to mute that. But on the whole, some really good stuff from them as they are holding these angles well. Adam has actually backed on off back into the B site as he's expecting that there actually won't be this push. As we do actually see, Endpoint committing a lot towards Ivy here. And looking for an A push. 3 players moving in. Zero forced up onto the Train. A little bit flashed. Good molly. King Mazil holding well. Tries to get the double spray down, but will finally fall to Crucial. Rusty gets a bit of damage. The HE comes on through, but it won't quite finish anyone off. That was close. Zero will fall to Thomas as he pushes on out. Surreal from Pop Dog takes down Rusty. And is now behind this box. Looking to try and finish off Era, who he knows is back there. But this AWP, he has to be careful. Crucial even going down here. Team Endpoint have to be worried. That's a good pick from Thomas. And now it's 3 versus 1. Much better situation for them. Not a lot of utility left on Adam. And, well, not a lot of life left on him either, as he will get picked on off. Surreal with that sweet one tap. Oh, okay. Yeah, GamerLegion playing pretty well so far. I'm impressed. They've done some good stuff, but there's also been some bit of overzealousness. And Endpoint is just walking on at some points and just tapping the heads like we saw there, which is important to keep an eye on. Right now, Endpoint again, spreading out a lot. I don't want to commit too hard. But you can see again, Rusty playing very aggressive. Does actually manage to refrag onto Surreal. All the way pushed up there. That's bought them a lot of time. Zero dodging that initial shot and then sends back a flurry of bullets of his own. But Thomas is already pushed up his position, and Endpoint have infiltrated deep into this A site. Zero, unsure of where these players are, but manages to take down the bomb. Thomas wasn't quite able to find him in time as Robin will now look to back up the rest of their team. It's 2 versus 2. Rusty is moving in to reinforce. Yeah, the map is CT-sided, but we're still doing some good stuff. Endpoint picking up a couple rounds, obviously, they should, but it's due to things like that, holding these angles, that makes it kind of easy. Zero. Moving on back. But doesn't know that Robin is going to be right here. Robin versus Rusty to finish off the round. Barely missing each other there. Will peek on through, finds the spray, and will finish off Rusty there. That is 5-5. Endpoint in a pretty good situation right now. As they have managed to keep up. Got the money. They lost a lot of players, but they're going to be able to buy back up. And, well, obviously GamerLegion aren't, and that sets Endpoint up to take a big advantage here. Because we're looking at next round, there's going to be a buy, and GamerLegion need to take that. They need to come out of this half positive, otherwise things are going to look really, really awkward. Gate into Pop Dog, though. Doesn't lead to all too much, as there is no one waiting there this time. GamerLegion with 3 players on that A site still. As they do rotate one over. Zero. Very worried about the effective pushes that Endpoint have been putting onto this B site. they've had to rotate a lot to try and put it in. As a result, they've been rotating a little bit too quickly, and we've seen that GamerLegion have actually gotten caught out on this A site. We see a lot of them congregating towards Ivy here, and I actually really like this. This is a bit of a read, because Endpoint have been pushing Ivy a lot. However, this time, they're not going to be doing that. So, it's going to be a little bit unfortunate that their read doesn't work out, and Endpoint waiting a lot of time. But as soon as they're going to go, this round is going to go from 0 to 100 real quick. We're going to see Adam go down. Unless Adam finds some of the best shots in his life and just manages to completely duel here. This B side is absolutely wide open. Gets smoked on out. Surreal's probably going to go down because they're not going to check for it. Actually, he sees him. He drops on down, tries to get the knife. A little bit cheeky there from Adam. Does find the damage, but doesn't find the frag, unfortunately. And now, with high ground control and with these rifles, they're in a good position. Surreal has to beat a retreat, however, and goes down to these pistols. A little bit over-aggressive. Robin taking a lot of damage, but Crucial backing up the rest of their team. Finds those quick 3 frags. Finds a 4th, and that is a big 4K to net Endpoint the round. Against Eco, so it's not the most impressive, but on the whole, Endpoint with some solid stuff. And, I mean, GamerLegion, as I said before, really need this round. If they don't pick up this round, this map's looking pretty awkward for them. They've got a decent amount of utility. They're a little bit lacking, and they're missing armor, but that's fine, obviously, against AKs for the most part. Missing head armor, sorry. That's not the end of the world. Bit of peek on out, Crucial. A little bit worried here. Holds the corner, but misses up that spray. That was a little bit awkward, but does manage to at least go 1 for 1, so it's not the end of the world. However, bomb will have to be picked up by Mighty Maxes. Endpoint re-evaluating their options here. Ooh, nice shot there from Era to try and take down Robin, who just hops on through, as now it's very apparent to GamerLegion that this attack is coming on towards the B side. Rusty takes a bit of damage, has to be careful. That was a good molly towards Popdog as Surreal just moves onto the site. He's going to have to check his right. Still manages to deal with Adam, even though he has the drop. And the molly cuts off the rotate already. Robin is waiting in CT, but doesn't manage to find the frag regardless, managing to find those shots. Thomas peeks back on out. As the rest of the team just looking to lock this on down. GamerLegion, they realize they're going to have to save here. Things are not looking good for them. It's going to be 7-5 to Endpoint. GamerLegion really looking like they might just not win this one. They're going to have a fantastic T side if they're going to be able to take this back. Much like Endpoint are doing right now. But the problem is that we know Endpoint have a lot of practice on the map. They are pretty good. Even though there are stories about the scrim that you were telling me about in chat. GamerLegion. I'm struggling a little bit here. They're not able to buy up on GamerLegion. They're going to have to force up a little bit, I think, here. Or just go with the... Yeah, go with a couple of pistols. Deagles, as we said before. Pretty deadly. P250s. Against armor. Can struggle a little bit. That's exactly what they're having to deal with. A little bit more of a fast-paced execute here. As Endpoint just rush on in. Aggression up Ivy, but Robin is holding the angle. And as a result, they will just back off. They don't want to get caught out here. And Crucial summarily executes Zero. He tries to hold the angle. Good spray there from Crucial. Finds the headshot on King Mezzi. And that is fantastic. As Endpoint haven't even lost a player. Finally, they do, as I say that. But Team Endpoint taking control of the site. And Adam, one player remaining. Up towards Popdog there. He's not going to be able to find anything here. Mighty Max. Good so far, but Thomas making a mistake. That means a rifle in the hands of Adam. Rest of the team should be able to buy up, so this is pretty good for them. GamerLegion are able to properly force up. But Team Endpoint, again, very able to do the same thing. So continuing to put themselves in a great position as they've already secured a positive half for them. Good start to the day for Team Endpoint with these 3 matches up for them. Things could get a little messy if GamerLegion managed to find a couple of these flanks. Rifles abound. Orf picked up again for Era. Lacking a little bit on utility. Not got any of those flashes for him, but does at least have the mollies and the smokes. And this is the important thing now, is GamerLegion do have them. So it's going to be a lot easier to quash a lot of the pushes that Team Endpoint are doing. And this is one of the benefits of when you're on T-side, is once you have this economy, you should be able to stop a lot of them. 4 out of 5 mollies used straight out of the gate. Stopping Endpoint from doing exactly what they did last round. Good smoke. And even an HE for good measure. Azera is flashed on out, but still manages to get the spray down there onto Crucial as he tries to push on through. Sensible positioning. Gets that spray down for them. Keeps GamerLegion very much in it. Tries to find the headshot. Does take down Robin. Standing on top of that train there for Adam. Surreal. Picks it on out. Didn't actually notice that there was a player right in front of him because of that flash, but will eventually net it. As he is going to move on out, but Thomas still manages to flick back in time. They don't know where this AWP is, but the AWP knows exactly where Thomas is and will be able to find that shot into him. ESEA from the back here. Able to keep their team in a good position. Adam looking to get aggressive, hopping on up. Will be able to take down Surreal's 1 versus 2. Endpoint, they're not super sore if they lose this round. But it would be pretty nice to pick it up. Unfortunately, Adam manages to spot out that head and will be able to pick up that round. GamerLegion with some solid stuff off on the back of that flank from Adam. Well, flank, rotate. As he does pick up a plethora of frags and really important ones as well. Just getting some clean taps and just shutting Endpoint out. Endpoint still able to buy on up with full utility here. And GamerLegion, even though they won, ESEA doesn't have all too much. They're gonna have to. I think he has a rifle edge. Yeah, he has the AWP. Double AWPs now for GamerLegion, putting one onto King Mezzy, just to see how this is gonna go. Again, positioning the AWPs is going to be key as he is playing back in Ivy. It's real. Can see the player sprays the legs down, and with that flash from Mighty Max, I mean, Team Endpoint just execute on. The molly is going to force back ESEA as well. He tries to hold for a little bit to try and find that shot, but Team Endpoint are already on the site. They're up a player, and positioning makes this very difficult, especially when you have 2 AWPs here. It can make holding this just so, and pushing this so hard. They do manage to refrag. Adam does do that, but he takes a lot of damage in the meantime. There's the spray from Robin. Manages to finish him off. There's 1 player remaining, and that's King Mezzy. Trying to get this kill from him. So hard. Team Endpoint pick up that round. 9-6, moving into the CT half. Team Endpoint looking like they're going to just take this one. Alright, we'll go to... Yeah, we'll play it now.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
All right, we are back in business here as we have the first round of half 2 for game 1 here today. Can you tell the score? Well, it's 9-6. It's on the screen now, mate. It's already there. But Endpoint, investing a bit into utility here on Surreal. I like that. Very important. Again, on the CT side, those smokes and HEs can be so key, as we are hearing. Just a drop down pop dog. Some good aims from both sides is crucial. Shuts down one, looking for the second, but Rusty on that flank does manage to finish things off. Smoke towards connector means that they can actually slip on a little bit, as Mighty Max is looking for a bit of a flank. Zero takes a bit of damage. So they have to be careful. They know there's a player back in connector here, and as a result, they can't go for this plant straight away. We do see finally Zero moving into position, but Too long, too late. Good shots there from Zero, but doesn't quite manage to finish anyone off. Mighty Max looking to try and peek around. Here's the bomb going down. King Mezzi will finish off Thomas as he tries to move on forward, but that's aggression right now from GamerLegion. They are able to take down Surreal with Mighty Max on 4 HP. He can win this, but it's going to be oh so difficult. They do finish him off, and GamerLegion picking up that pistol round yet again, I believe, if I remember correctly. It doesn't actually tell us, but I'm pretty sure they picked up the pistol round. So, they're going to buy up a couple of SMGs here, and I like this. I like picking up more SMGs, getting those bonus rounds. It's about securing the round. Endpoint picking up not only deagles, but a couple of scouts here, which is interesting to see. I have watched Endpoint play this map before, but I have not seen this from them yet. I'm kind of excited to see it. I've been impressed with both Mighty Max and Crucial's scouting before, so not particularly worried. Daichi doesn't final too much. I think we're expecting the smoke to come down from Surreal in a sec. He's just continuing to try and hold the angle. A good body shot there onto Adam very much puts him in a precarious position. Messi with a good HE towards Mighty Max. And the spray follow-up doesn't quite land, so he does manage to keep it alive for now. But Jiggle beaking Thomas, very much looking to try and find this frag, and a little bit overzealous, one might say, as he does go down early on. And this means GamerLegion most likely going to shift around and look for this B-side push. And that's why I like the Endpoint. I've already got a player kind of playing in this connector in Crucial. But I'd like him to rotate a little bit harder rather than sticking around. Because I fully expect GamerLegion to push on in here. But they're still playing pretty slow. Very surprised by this. And actually, as much as I said I was expecting it, they don't do it at all. They're looking for an A-side push. And this is really clever because it psychs out Endpoint. They were expecting the A-side, the B-side push, but it's the A it almost instantly takes out Robin. Endpoint, move on through and continue to push on in. Wait, Mighty Max only has 2 kills. Oh wow, he does. That's not good. But you know what? The rest of the team really showing up here as they are still in the lead. GamerLegion looking to flex this win of the pistol round and obviously economic superiority early on in round 2. That's not the Mighty Max we like to see. I miss the old Mighty Max, the one who actually gets more than 2 frags, Mighty Max. I'm sure he'll be able to figure it out later on in this round. But I like the Endpoint also on pushing, because pushing into these rifles and SMGs, you're only going to give them more money. And I think it's very sensible to, well, explicitly not do that. And you know what? Sometimes they just push into you, and you find the kill onto King Mezzi here, picking up some money. Looking to try and grab this SMG, but won't find all too much. GamerLegion keep all but one of their players alive. And continue. No, we'll refer him to just as Max for the rest of this round. Yeah? No. I'm not allowed to be mean to them. Endpoint pay me, so... No, I am allowed to be mean to them. I've got them shit before. But on the whole, Endpoint playing pretty well this match. CT starts can be difficult, especially if you lose that pistol. You need to keep an eye on your economy. And by saving there, they put themselves in a bit of more solid position coming into this round. King Leslie looking to swing wide here. Does find a lot of damage onto Mighty Max, but that HE will not land. Mighty Max is noped out of there. Does not even want to remotely mess with that one. Surreal. With a very cheeky little push there. Does manage to net a frag onto Adam. And keep their team in a pretty good stead. Smoke does come on through. But Surreal is still holding it. He's on the edge of this. As he is pushed on up. Rusty. Looking to peek on out. We'll see it, but the spray comes on through. Surreal finds a second in this round, and that is absolutely fantastic. Endpoint starting off with a round that looked really awkward for them. Mighty Max taking a little bit of damage early. Things really weren't going their way, but Surreal making the big plays here. Mezzo will shut down Crucial and stop him from doing anything more, and GamerLegion looking to go for this execute regardless. Picking up a couple of those kills on Surreal means you do grab a little bit of money. A jumping scout shot there from Surreal does find a bit of, sorry, from Mighty Max, does find a little bit of damage, but won't net them the round. Again, Surreal finding a 3k so far with this Mac 10, but on this long angle, he's not going to be able to find it. And as a result, GamerLegion do pick up that round. Who win, Fate or Endpoint? I do not know Fate, unfortunately, so I cannot comment. That is happening after this match. Well, once this match is done, basically. That's all we're waiting on. Pretty much. But so far, GamerLegion not looking too bad, honestly, on this attack. Oh, sorry, on the T side. I've been casting other games, and I have to say attack and defense rather than CT and T, so that's why I'm saying that. That's a fantastic nade there from Crucial. Getting a bit of information, not only finding damage. Who won? I think the match hasn't happened yet. I'm pretty sure that Fate haven't played. Fate is the matchup second today. But hey. Endpoint. Definitely keeping this match on their mind first. Robin almost gets the spray down there, but won't quite be able to find it. Do you see a little bit of mad hops there? The AWP holding strong, but will get refragged, and that's exactly what you expect to happen. That's why you move in pairs here for GamerLegion. Can I? I can ban from my phone, but I'll leave it for now. Surreal. Sitting back on this B site as the rest of the team very much invested towards this A. And GamerLegion have been playing very so, and I've been loving it. Not looking to make all too many moves, and this is quite slow. They're looking for a last-minute push here onto A. Thomas holding very close here, and I love this position. The flash comes on through, but he holds strong, finds the second as well, finds the third. Robin shuts down this push before it even begins with a 4K, and Team Endpoint pick up their first CT round. I'm just going to ban him. Yeah. There we go. He's gone, don't worry. That was the right one, right? I was just trying to keep an eye on the game more than anything. I do have mod puns, but you know how it be. No worries, lads. No worries. Was he expecting the game to have already finished? But it was a bit silly. Good scouting there from Era. Does find a bit of a tag onto Crucial. Makes it all the easier to finish off this AWPing player. You can throw an HE towards him and really finish him off now, if you need to. The correct loony. As opposed to the incorrect loonies like the rest of you, mate. Ooh, that was a nice headshot there from Zero, and exactly what GamerLegion need to move on in here. They pick up the rifle onto King Mezzi, and now it's 4 versus 5. With Crucial a little bit low, he has to play very carefully. A lot of players towards Ivy there for GamerLegion, but I don't think they're actually going to end up pushing it. Team Endpoint. Not wanting to push too aggressively apart from Surreal, who is right up in there. This is a good and well-timed molly from Crucial as well, because he shuts down any attempt at this push. The rest of the team investing a lot of utility in response. Surreal still has that molly up. I actually want to see where Surreal actually is. Okay, he's under Pop Dog. He was where I thought he was. Oh. Thomas trades back and forth, but that's not what you want to do when you're on a rifle run, especially when you're down a player. Robin, very happy to just shut things down. Finally, we see King Mezzi pop on out and take it down too. Bomb goes down instantly. Flash comes on in. As we do see an attempt here from Surreal to try and clutch this one out. The molly forces out King Mezzi, but the spray is almost there. Is there indeed? And GamerLegion pick up a round that they really had no business in winning. That was really, really nice from GamerLegion. Picking up a good couple of shots and then really taking it home to the bank. The rifle on Mezzi made a huge difference there. Whoever was saying 30 bomb Mezzi in the chat, I don't think it's happening, but certainly is putting up some good stuff. I mean, yeah, you could actually do it. Has to have like +1 KPR if we go to like overtime. That he could drop a 30 bomb. certainly possible. But when Robin, making plays like that, picking up a rifle with their own team, might just do the same thing back. No one pushing up aggressively yet from GamerLegion, and I like the temerity of Endpoint. Sorry, not Endpoint, GamerLegion. Rest of the team looking to move on in. But Thomas, with this deagle, playing the close angle, takes down another. However, bites of a little bit more than he can chew, and ERA finishes off that one. Mezzi back here to back up their teammate in ERA. Against 4 players, but only one of them has a rifle. 3 deagles. So you still can't make too many greedy plays. Mighty Max even looking for this flank, but doesn't want to commit hard to it. The team is in a good spot. They don't want to throw it away. As King Mezzi checking a lot of these angles. Orb doesn't ring true, but crucial. One of those deagle players does go down early on here. Robin with a good spray finishes off ERA, but Mezzi is still alive. The spray comes on through, and Mezzi will finish him off 1 versus 2, and he has that massive weapon advantage. However, holding the angle is Surreal. He turns away at the last second, and King Mezzi manages to pass. This is going to be so bad for them right now. Mighty Max is just moving backwards, holds the angle, but still doesn't find the shot. Mezzi just might be able to take this one. Surreal has to be careful here. Finds the shot. Finishes off Mezzi. And with his last breath, manages to do that one. Team Endpoint pulling that round from the jaws of defeat as it's eco win after eco win. As these teams keeping at it. Yeah, Mighty Max not having a great game, I'm not going to lie. But with the opening hands, things might be a little bit different. He's strong with that, as it's a double AWP setup for Team Endpoint right now. Aggressive push from GamerLegion. They don't want to mess around at all. A nice spray there from Thomas, but unfortunately it's not enough as there were 2 players. Rusty taking half his health. Will be able to find another frag before he goes down. 6 HP and takes down Crucial as well. Team Endpoint doing a decent job as Mighty Max is playing back a sight here. Manages to find one of those players. Managing to add another kill to his collection finally. As he is now on 4. But he's starting to move up a little bit in the world. Surreal, however, has been absolutely fantastic on that 18 kills alongside Robin. So the rest of the team really has been putting in these numbers. Rusty with only 6 HP. Moving up aggressively here. He's not careful. Will easily get taken down. Surreal. Back to him. Has no idea where this player is. Rusty. Looking for something. With this AK, being alive is more than relevant. But Mighty Max is going to get flanked here. This is so unfortunate. GamerLegion about to pick up the A-site control off the back of this one shot, and Surreal now has to hightail it back on here. It's going to be so hard to make this push. 25 seconds, and they even managed to deal with him. GamerLegion picking up a good round there, as they did have enough money to buy because they're on this T side. Endpoint right now, feeling the pressure. GamerLegion with a very strong T side so far. Picking up more rounds than Endpoint really expected. Not quite as good as the 9 rounds Endpoint picked up, but they're definitely making it there. Rusty. Looking to push on up here. But already holding the angle. A good body shot, but doesn't quite finish it off. The molly will force Surreal into a very awkward situation, but he does manage to make it out. That HE won't finish him off either, but 1 HP. Managing to escape. Some good stuff. Oh, no, I pressed the button. Whoops. Mighty Max holding this angle against 2 players looking to potentially push up Ivy here. As the rest of the team playing very passive. This has been GamerLegion to a T. Running out the clock, waiting for aggressive pushes. I mean, honestly, Endpoint haven't been going too much for them, apart from towards the start of these rounds. Surreal, sure, he's been going for basically everything he can, but it's unfortunate. ERA finding a good shot into Mighty Max. And that will open up the A site. Still will be able to finish off a couple more of these players. Surreal, very, very worried right now. 1 HP. Not a healthy place for a man to be. As he will go down to an AWP shot. Didn't really matter how much health he had there. As we do see ERA finding a 3rd in this round. continuing to put up these numbers and watching the angle is Zero. Thomas tries to finish him off. That tap would have been more than enough, in fact. Zero will sneak on in, but Crucial tries to find the shot, but unfortunately Era gets that no-scope. And Era picking up that round for the team. 4K for that player on the AWP. More than impressive. As GamerLegion now in control of the game. Will be a buy from Endpoint, unsurprisingly. GamerLegion making that a bit of a comeback. I'm interested to see what they're talking about. I think they're maybe talking about what kind of things they need to change up. Maybe giving Mighty Max a little bit of time to reset, because things have not been good for him this game. Normally, he's a bit of a fragger. Hopefully, he'll improve for the next games. I know he has it in him, so definitely keep an eye on that. Yeah, 9-6 to 11-12. It's been a little bit of a problem. GamerLegion. Now, with that open hand on Era again, really could be shutting down a lot of these plays. And after this initial salvo, Endpoint don't actually have that much utility. That's the problem here, right? Is they're really going to struggle later on with these rounds. Surreal has a lot on B, but that's basically it. Robin all the way under here. As we see 3 players from GamerLegion yet again pushing towards Ivy, looking to try and contest that player. I just hit my mic. I'm a fool. That's a problem. There we go. Do see 2 players from Endpoint pushing up the stairs here in the back of B. You can try and catch him off guard. Can't quite see Rusty, but will get the spray down onto Adam, and that is more than enough. Surreal's going to back right off as the shot whistles past his ear. From, I think it was Rusty there. But GamerLegion, we look on over. They're all the way up here. They're already up in Ivy. Hard contesting onto A. With 30 seconds on the clock, they're very much looking to make the push they need. Spreading out a little bit, don't want to engage right away. Crucial on 5 HP. But still very much able to put those shots down. Yeah, no, I have turned it back on. I'm just moving to character players I want to see. But Endpoint with a great salvo of shots. Era the only remaining player, and I expect him to look for the save here. They want that up for the next round. They won't be able to buy it up if they don't. I think they're going to struggle for buy. I think Zero is going to have to go down to something a little bit special. But Endpoint with a really solid round. Endpoint looked a little bit weak as they dropped that round to GamerLegion. But it seems like both of these teams very happy to trade points back and forth. Eco into eco, buy into buy. And GamerLegion definitely made a huge comeback here. As you can see, we'll bring up the tab again. 9-6 in that first round. And well, GamerLegion are very much bringing it back. Mighty Max a little bit underperforming here, but still has a lot of assists. About 5 in there. And for the bottom of the leaderboard, that's pretty good. Mighty Max has killed like a couple of people, and actually has some pretty decent shots, especially in the orb. On the rifle, he's been a little bit struggling so far, but yeah. Okay, let's we chill out in the chat for a second there. We're all here to have a good time and watch him Counter-Strike, and I mean, look at this right now from Surreal. He is looking to make a play aggressively here. Not necessarily expecting Adam to just push on through the smoke, but shots back and forth around the place. He is actually in here. So many players right now. Some good attempted spray, but doesn't actually land on anyone other than Mezzy. And GamerLegion are just looking to push on in on this. There's only one player on this B side. This might have to be a retake, and that makes things a lot more difficult. Executing with pistols can be a nightmare, but when you've actually got control of the sightlines that you're playing, I mean, on B can be a little bit hard, but you really can shot people down. Good spray to start things off, makes 2, but will go down to the 3rd, and that is a rifle in the hands of one of these players. ERA takes another shot, finishes off another player, but Mezzi with this M4 is devastating as he finishes off Crucial as well. Tries to take down another, but Mighty Max, the player who's been sleeping the entire game, comes up clutch when it matters and picks up a round for their team. Yeah, I was going to ban him, but I wasn't sure if I should. I'm not a good mod, but yeah. Mighty Max activated. Long have we waited as he's setting up for this one. Back on that AWP, so back on his AWP stuff. That's pretty solid. GamerLegion just rock on out and do trade 1-for-1, but Crucial with a good shot into King Mezil there. We'll be able to finish it off. Zero trying to find some of these, but Thomas does finally go down. Crucial on that AWP. Very important in this round. Tries to find another shot, but unfortunately his teammate beats him to it. He'll have to find another one, and he does exactly that. Team Endpoint breaking away in the final sprint for this match. He just wasn't trying. Yeah, no, he was just letting his teammates carry. He's letting them get away with it. And, I mean, absolutely they have been. Robin, Surreal, and Crucial all dropping 20 kills or more. So, absolutely fantastic stuff from them. And been enough to drag up Mighty Max when he's underperforming. Now, wins them a round. I bet they're popping off in chat right now. But unfortunately, Mighty Max, impactful in one round, dead the next. GamerLegion with those deagles able to finish him off, and that should be a AWP for them. It's a lot of utility going towards Ivy here. That's a good HE. It should land true. And they managed to finish off 2 in short order. Endpoint in a great position. Adam tries to push one through. Will go down as well. Crucial finishes off Rusty, and only one remaining player. I mean, King Mezzi is right at the back there. Team Endpoint lose another player, but they're pretty happy to do it. You know anyway that GamerLegion are going to be able to buy next round. You yourself can buy next round. It is not the end of the world. GamerLegion going to be doing exactly that. No AWP, importantly, for ERA here. A player who has been excelling on the AWP and just hasn't been able to do it in the same way. When he doesn't have that. Even so, picking up 19 kills. Doing a pretty good job. As a whole, GamerLegion playing very well as a team. Good sprays like that could be more than enough here. As we do see Mighty Max looking for a little bit more. But there is the refrag. Auto Spectator, are you okay? This is Auto Spec, by the way. Being super weird. 3 versus 3. Team Endpoint still in control. A player on B site, but the bomb is nowhere to be found. It's right back towards that spawn. And importantly, let's keep an eye on this. It's crucial. Wants to deal with this player, but making way too much sound. Likely to go down here, as we do see the push come on through from Adam here. Reinforcement. Adam. C1. Finishes off Crucial. But that's giving away his position. And this could be important. They know he's on the back of A site. Sorry, B site. But waiting in the wings is Robin. Playing Pop Dog. Tries to sneak on up, but isn't enough. As they were watching that angle. The smoke makes it very hard for this rotate to come on through. Bomb goes down, but instantly Thomas will finish off that player. And this gives a good opportunity for Robin to sneak on through. He's in a good position. His teammates finish off one of the others, but he's looking for the last here, as we do see Adam. But Adam takes a lot of damage in that exchange. Team Endpoint get the defuse. Adam does find the frag, but unfortunately, his team doesn't